Hello, everyone, and welcome to our last session of Moms Stay Woke. I'm glad all of you are here today. My name is Marcy Taylor. I'm chair of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Stork's Nest. Just a little bit of background for you. Zeta Phi Beta Sorority and the March of Dimes has a respected and enduring partnership and legacy of addressing issues of prematurity, birth defects, and infant mortality. The March of Dimes has identified November as Prematurity Awareness Month, and that's why the whole month, in every Wednesday in the month of November, we have our prematurity program, Moms Stay Woke. This is where we have conversations with young women about childbirth. And we also want to say thank you to Nurse Family Partnership for partnering with us. Now, this is our last session. We have had them every Wednesday in November. Some of the classes we had was week 1 was preeclampsia. Week 2 was preterm labor. Week 3 was with a NICU nurse. Last week, we had a mom's story. And this week, we're going to be talking about support groups and programs. So we're going to have our speakers introduce themselves as we get ready to do introductions. We're going to be doing our drawing too. So if moms attended 4 or more classes, they're going to win that swag bag, which is some NFP swag, a self-care kit, $20 in gift cards to Generations of Ventureplex, a gift card for a manicure and Nailed by D, and a $100 gift card to Therapeutic Indulgence. And all the sessions are going to be on our Zeta Phi Beta YouTube channel. So I'm going to go ahead and ask everyone to introduce themselves. So let's go ahead and start with Rochelle.
So I am Rochelle Andruskevich. I am the nurse supervisor for Nurse Family Partnership that covers our Tri-County area, so LaPorte, St. Joe, and Elkhart. I've been with the program for about 3 years, started as a nurse home visitor and have been the supervisor for about the last almost a year now. So you want me to just call on somebody?
Nope, I got it.
Okay.
It's both of our moms to introduce. So we'll start with Kaylee. Just introduce yourself. Tell us if this is your first baby or not, when your baby is due.
I'm Kaylee. First one was miscarriage, and then I am pregnant with twins. I'm due in February 21st, and I am 28 weeks, 1 day pregnant.
Thank you. Tamara.
Hello, I am Tamara. I have actually had my baby on the 26th of November. And and he is doing well. He's feeding right now. His name is Zane.
Well, congratulations to you and Zane.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We have our president of Zeta Phi Beta, Alice. If you'd like to introduce yourself.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Alice. I am the current president of the local chapter here in South Bend. Once again, thank you for attending.
And then our 3 speakers. We have Sandy. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Sandy Pontius. I'm the Tobacco Education Coordinator for St. Joe County. I've been in tobacco control for about 10 years, a little more than 10 years. So I should be able to answer any question you got.
Great. We have Ann McCafferty.
Hello, my name's Ann. I'm from Indiana Rural Health Association. I noticed my logo's backwards. That is the state of Indiana. And it is IRHA. I'll talk a little bit about that in the presentation. Kaylee and Tamara, new mom club, congratulations. And Tamara, your baby Zane shares a birthday with my husband. So happy birthday to Big Daddy and to the little baby Zane.
And then we have Marshall.
Hello, everyone. My name is Marshall Pettit, and I am a certified doula and lactation specialist, new parent educator, and I am the program coordinator for Base Doula Services, and I work in partnership with the Nurse Family Partnership of Goodwill.
Thank you, ladies, for attending, and we're going to go ahead and get started, and we're going to get started with Marshall because I believe you have to leave early.
I do. I have to go into a leadership class, so I will start talking about Base Doula Services. Base Doula Services, Base Doula program stands for Birth Advocacy, Support, and Empowerment. And what we do is we provide doula support to expectant parents who have low to minimal supports in the birthing space and prenatally. So we walk alongside our clients during the prenatal journey. During labor and delivery, we're there throughout the whole time of labor and delivery. And then we offer postpartum support. Some of our moms have that support in their labor and delivery. So sometimes they may just want that virtual support for their prenatal part. They may not need that constant support during labor and delivery, and then they want us to come back for that postpartum support. So what we do is we walk alongside that family and we prepare them for that process, what that looks like, what their postpartum looks like, what we can help them with, prepare them for their labor and delivery. And again, if they need that continual support in the labor room, we're there from the time they call us until they have that baby, and then we're there for the postpartum period. We offer 6 weeks of postpartum support. And then as the program coordinator, I check on our clients until the baby is 1 year old. Each month I check in with them to make sure they don't need any connections to any local resources. And if they do, I connect them to those resources. So we just received funds to start a doula training in December. And so we have partnered with an organization called Common Sense Childbirth, and they do doula trainings and they offer perinatal educator trainings, and they educate through the lens of racial equity and birth equity. So we'll be offering 6 scholarships for community members to have that training. So we will be dispersing community doulas and perinatal health educators throughout St. Joseph County, LaPorte County, Elkhart County, and Marshall counties. So we will be offering more support to more families. And so if you know anyone who's interested in becoming a doula, if you know any families that could use doula support throughout their prenatal to their postpartum period, then contact me, contact Rochelle.
Thanks, Marshall. Is there any questions?
And shout out to Tamara. Hey, congratulations. I got to see baby Zane.
Thank you. Thank you.
I didn't know if you were going to make it on the call today. I wasn't going to bother you because I know you just got home.
Yes, nope. We're here today. He's eating right now. We're listening.
Okay.
Great, thanks. Now, if there's no questions for Marshall, then we're going to go ahead and jump right into it with Sandy. Tell us more about the program. You're on mute.
And I said something to you about that too, huh? I have a short PowerPoint. Can I just share my screen? Is that okay?
Yep.
You should hopefully be able to share.
Yep.
Hi, Marshall.
No problem. Let me start the slide. Where'd it go? Sorry, I gotta move that. Oh, there we go. From the beginning. Okay.
Perfect. Looks great.
Oops. There. Okay. So this is really I do have resources in here, but also this is really a lot about second and third hand smoke and why it's important to quit smoking or not smoke around your baby. I always like to start with this because it's a statistic I think people are really surprised to see, that tobacco kills more than car accidents, AIDS, homicides, suicides, car accidents. Oh, I said that one already. Alcohol combined, because there's 480,000 people that die from tobacco-related illness every year because there are so many ways that tobacco, kills. It's very dangerous. It's poison. It's addictive poison. Just some statistics for you. Not going to really go, that much into them. I think they're even updated, and I don't have the updated. I think we are actually down to 19.1% tobacco users. So that, and then with 13.5% of pregnant women smoking, that is high. That is high compared to the nation. So we need to do something about this. Just some other statistics for you. This recent study just really indicate that smoking by pregnant moms caused roughly a 1.5-fold asthma risk in their offspring that can show up between the ages of 31 and 46. So that's crazy, right? Just a recent study has come out and said that. So, smoking during your pregnancy can affect your child when they're an adult. And because we do have higher rates of smoking while pregnant in Indiana, it's really important that pregnant women understand the impact of tobacco use on their unborn baby. Tobacco use can cause any of the following health effects that are on the slide there: preterm labor, miscarriage. Low birth weight is very, very common. There's a misconception kind of going around with some women that low birth weight is a good thing. That is not true. We're not talking about, a small baby, 5'13", like my babies. We're talking about, not healthy low birth weight. Carbon monoxide is a poison that slows brain development. And can cause a baby to have a smaller brain. And carbon monoxide is a byproduct of cigarette smoke. In fact, we can measure carbon monoxide level in the body and that's how we can tell if somebody is a smoker generally. Babies can actually become addicted to nicotine while inside the womb. So, you're looking at withdrawal symptoms. So we've heard from some OB nurses that you can easily tell if a mom was a smoker just by looking at the placenta after birth. And so if you want to see some really gross photos, you can Google placentas of smoking moms. But on second thought, I probably don't do that. Just spare yourself those images and trust me, it's not pretty. So here are the resources that we have to quit smoking. Indiana Tobacco Quit Line, that is a free service from the state of Indiana, and actually all the states have them. When somebody enrolls in this program, they get a personal quit coach. That is someone who will help them make a plan, because that's really the trick about it is you have to be intentional. You have to figure out what you're going to do, to fill that time, basically. For the pregnant women program, they'll call 10 times to the woman, to the quitter, and that's 2 postpartum. So they real good continuous checks on you. I think the best thing is that people have 24/7 access to the quit line. So even at 3 a.m, if you're really stressed out or something happens and you have a craving, you can call them. And they can talk to you. That's not the case in all states. So we're lucky that we have that in Indiana. And of course, it's really easy, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, or just quitnowindiana.com. We'll get you to the website and you could do that either way. I also offer a Courage to Quit. This is not from the state, but it is free. It's from St. Joe Health System, who I work for. I have been doing them virtually, but I have also done them in person in the past. I have done them I had a pregnant woman who was very motivated to quit. And so we just did the 3-session program, and we did them 3 days in a row, but she was ready. She was ready to quit. Generally we do them once a week. What we do the first 3 weeks is kind of figure out what the triggers are, look at techniques to fill that time, how to overcome things. Everybody quits together after the 3rd session. And then we just really all support each other. And there's my phone number, which I'll have again later, if you're interested in that, or someone who's interested in that. But even if you don't use tobacco, if you're exposed to secondhand smoke, it can still cause problems with the pregnancy. So it's really important that pregnant women avoid secondhand smoke. It can cause a lot of the same issues that regular smoking can, and even more. Sleep-related infant death, it's following those ABCs of safe sleep is important for every baby, but even more so if they're exposed to tobacco, because babies only breathe through their noses, right? Not their mouths. So they should be sleeping alone with no pillows or blankets or toys, on their back, flat, no head propping, in a crib or a bassinet, or, sharing the same room, but not the same bed. Secondhand smoke is especially harmful to young children because their lungs and brains really are still developing. And in fact, our brains don't fully develop until we're about 25. So this long-term secondhand smoke exposure can cause serious health issues in the future for kids. Plus, when the kids are sick, if they have a lot of ear infections or bronchitis, or if they develop asthma, they'll miss more school days, they'll have more doctor visits, which means the parents have to miss work, and then the kids could get behind in school, and it's just costs parents more money to pay for doctor's visits and missed work, and so it's really just best to take it outside. All right, so I'm sure you guys have all heard of secondhand smoke, but thirdhand smoke may not be as familiar to you. It's always been around, but we just kind of named it more recently. It's made up of 250 toxic chemicals like lead, arsenic, carbon monoxide. What it is when the smoke disappears, when it looks like it disappears, it really doesn't. It's full of particles. It's made of particles and they fall everywhere. So your clothes, your furniture, your floor, your pets, your curtains, everything. The takeaway really here is that these chemicals stick to everything they fall on, including pets, and they can't be removed by airing out the room. So when, let's go to this next slide because it'll tell you. So who's at risk? Well, if a baby is crawling around on the floor or cruising and touching the couch, they are getting those toxins on their own body, and then what do babies like to do? They put their fingers in their mouths. So now we've got, babies with poison toxins on their fingers, sticking them in their mouth. So that is definitely not good. Also, when they're on the floor, they kick up the third-hand smoke particles as they crawl. So they're really much more likely to be affected by third-hand smoke. Can it affect the unborn? If the toxins make their way into your blood, then they are shared with the baby. We all know that, right? So that's important to remember. It can cause respiratory problems later in life. I think I'm going to skip a few slides on this e-cigarettes, but I just want to touch on it because a lot of people think that it is a good way to quit smoking. It's really not. We don't recommend it, mostly because they are still full of nicotine. So they really don't end your addiction, which is kind of the whole point. Trying to quit smoking is getting off of the nicotine, getting rid of that addiction, because if you're not, it's very easy to go back. E-cigarettes are not safe, especially for little kids. Nicotine poisoning, if they get a hold of the juice, it could be deadly. We have seen the cigarette batteries explode. And then the second hand is not safe either. There's chemicals. It's really just trading one set of chemicals for another set of chemicals. So I'm not going to go through all of these though. Okay, so how are we going to protect our kids from second and third hand smoke? Well, quit smoking is of course the best thing you can do. Whoops, or don't let anybody, or encourage your family to quit smoking. Make sure folks smoke outside so that the kids have smoke-free air. We advised you not to smoke in your car or anyone to smoke or to put your child in a car that's in. Even when they're not in the car, that third-hand smoke lands all over, the particles land all over their car seats, seat belts, everything in the car. So even if the child is not in the car, they can still be affected by that third-hand smoke. So sometimes we suggest when someone goes outside, they wear like a jacket so they can take it off, and then there's less third-hand smoke particles on their clothes that come in contact with children. Support smoke-free businesses, things like that. It can be difficult to work this out with family or other, parents or other family members who may resist, I always smoked with you and you're fine. But we know so much more now than we did before, and just encourage them to take baby steps. You're not making them quit, but even a small step in the right direction, like going outside, can really help protect your kids. Why is this important? again. Kids exposed to tobacco smoke are at risk for all kinds of respiratory illnesses and an increased risk for sudden infant death syndrome. It costs a lot of money to decontaminate a housing unit. So that is why we're glad that HUD-owned public housing does not allow smoking, and we would really love to see more multi-unit housing facilities go that way. How far can tobacco smoke travel? It can be more than 20 feet. I don't know about you guys, but I have been in my car in the Walmart parking lot and smelled smoke from the guy smoking next to the door. So it goes everywhere. It's just everywhere. And there is no ventilation system that can really clean all of those tiny particles out of the air. Blowing it out the window doesn't work. You know, in a bar or a restaurant, it does not work. Even if you don't smell it, they are still cycling through the air. And so really that's it. Does anybody have any questions? There's my contact information again. If you think of a question later, or if you're interested in quitting, or you know someone who's interested in quitting, please get a hold of me. Feel free to share my information with them. And I'm going to stop sharing and see if anybody has any questions.
Any questions from our moms? No? Sandy, I want to thank you for sharing that information. I didn't even know there was such a thing called third-hand smoke. I learned something new today.
Good. Yeah, that was what I learned when I started doing this job. I was like, and then connecting it with babies and what they like to do with their fingers was really an eye-opener. Yeah.
Okay, then if there's no questions for Sandy, we're going to go ahead and move on to Ann, and she's going to tell us about covering kids.
Well, I'm interested in that smoking jacket because I'm old enough. When I think of a smoking jacket, I think of Hugh Hefner. So,
and that's pretty much why he did that, because he smoked, and kept those particles off of him. Yeah.
Oh, and Sandy, you might know Kathy Walker, my coworker that was going to be here tonight. I know she worked in tobacco control forever.
I do know Kathy Walker. Yes, I do.
Good. I'll tell her that I saw you. And thank you. That was a great presentation. I too learned a lot. I didn't know about third-hand smoking either.
Good.
So I kind of abbreviated my slideshow. I'm going to bring something up as well. Kathy served on our program since 2019. She was also doing another grant for the IRHA, and she was just pulled in a lot of directions. So I was really happy today when Rochelle emailed me and said, hey, do you have anybody else that can step in? And I was like, of course. So I love virtual ability because here I am. And then after this, I'm going to go put up my Christmas tree right over there. So, so this worked out great. Let me go ahead and start sharing. And over here. Sorry, I feel like an air traffic controller. Slideshow. All right, can you see the big picture? Perfect. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to abbreviate this really quick, especially since I'm talking to moms directly, which I love. So it gets a little confusing what exactly we do, and especially with our names, because they kind of tend to sound like they're discouraging a little bit. We're Indiana Rural Health Association. Rural, not necessarily. Our program is statewide. We serve NFP in Central Southern, and that's expanding since they become one Goodwill. So don't let that rural discourage you from contacting us. And then our program, get my mouse over here. And I'm not going to go through all about IRHA, just real quick so you know what we do. We are a member-based group. We basically do needs assessments, and our mission is to improve the health of Hoosiers living in rural and urban areas. And we assess those needs, and then we look for opportunities, funding to make improvements. Then one of the programs within the IRHA, so the IRHA has many programs. This is the program that I am the director of. It's called Connecting Kids to Coverage. So again, a little bit limited. Connecting Kids to Coverage, we do that, and that's our initiative. However, we know that moms lead to child enrollment. So we do not discourage anybody, even grandmas and grandpas. We want everybody to connect with us, because even though we're funded to reduce the percentage uninsured in Indiana, we know we can do that through our partners and through direct engagement with those that need health insurance for their families. So our funding comes from the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services. We were, is this in the middle? Do you see this? Let me move this. There you go. We were awarded this grant in 2019 through 2022. We're the only grantee in Indiana. And then we were happy to receive consecutive funding in 2022. So we're in that new program period, and that'll extend to 2025. And then hopefully for years to come, through sustainability or additional funding. I have to add this in every slideshow presentation I do. If you get really, really bored, you can, or you want extra credit to try to win your swag bag, you can go in and check out more information on that funding. So here's what I want you to remember. Easy takeaway. I can bore you with stats and charts that show you how bad insurance is in Indiana. We're not really improving. The public health emergencies helped a little bit, because if you're on Medicaid, you cannot lose your coverage. The state has to offer continual coverage no matter what the reason. However, that's going to change when the public health emergency lifts, and we want to make sure that everybody keeps that insurance. So when you think of insurance, just like you think of Flo, think of us. Pretty easy, pretty good branding with Flo. Everybody kind of knows what she stands for. So I just snuck this slide in. I'm curious, does anybody, and you guys can nod or say out loud, does anybody know what a insurance navigator is? Or patient navigators kind of wear more hats, but an eligibility specialist, insurance navigator. Anybody familiar with that term?
Yes. Is it someone that assists you with the insurance, the knowledge?
Yes, it definitely is. Here's the benefit. We are licensed through the Department of Insurance, just like an agent or a broker would be licensed. We have to take a test. We have to do continuing education. The difference is this. This is the big difference. A, we're free. We do not get paid through commissions or representing a company or a plan. And the second thing is that we're unbiased, because if you choose to go with Anthem, let's say, or if you choose to go with CareSource, we're still paid through our funding to do what we do. So we can offer you free services, and those services are unbiased. So we sit down with you, and this is a little bit of what it might look like. Oh, I kind of skipped ahead. This is how we can do it too. We are statewide, so that's a pretty big territory. We offer in-person appointments, virtual appointments, or a hybrid. So we do have brick and mortar offices where we can meet in person, or we can do it from the convenience of your home, like tonight for me. And here's a little bit of an example of our services. And I wonder, Tamara and Kaylee, do you have like Medicaid or Healthy Indiana plan currently?
Medicaid.
Okay.
Yes.
How have you found that experience? Is it like with renewals and redeterminations and trying to get it? Was it easy, hard?
Difficult.
What?
Difficult.
very difficult, you know, and I mentioned that navigators are licensed, we go through education. It's difficult for us. We get paid to do this. You don't get paid to do it. We know the time it takes and how difficult it is. So what we do is we're kind of like your flow, your insurance wingman. So here's an example. We explain and compare cost. We are very familiar with eligibility. We know what programs you're eligible for before you do. So we gather information and then we give you your options. Like, hey, this looks like the best plan for you, Kaylee. This looks like the best plan for you, Tamara. We do the legwork with FSSA. That's a good time. I know what it's like to sit on hold. I know how friendly those reps can be. As your authorized representative, which is a fancy word for case manager, we assume that for you and work alongside you because we want that best outcome. We help you understand your benefits once you enroll. Language that Medicaid uses is not what you would call plain language. It's kind of like doing your taxes. They make everything a little bit harder than it needs to be. So, you know, a lot of people don't know that, like, maybe they have Healthy Indiana plan, but they don't know how Anthem ties in. They just know they got a card from Anthem. Those Medicaid plans, health plans, offer a lot of extra benefits or extra perks, and especially for new moms. I think all of them have like baby supplies, baby showers. So we really want to encourage the beneficiaries to really benefit from their benefits and understand them and manage them. So we work with you on that. We work with you on renewals, which is a requirement every year. We haven't had to do it for a while, again, because of the public health emergency, but it's going to come. So we want to encourage you, and I'll encourage you both, make sure your information is updated with the FSSA, because as you know, they send everything by mail. Those notices will have a due date. And if you miss the due date, well, we don't want you to arrive for your doctor's appointment or your baby's doctor's appointment and find out you're not covered. So as soon as tonight, if you want help with that, just let me know. We can sign you up as our person in our program, and we will send you notices like, hey, Kaylee, don't forget, renewals coming up. How can we help you? So how do you get a hold of us? And this is where I skipped a little bit because I didn't realize I was going to be talking directly to you moms and moms to be. We have several options. If you work with, let's say, a nurse family partnership, home nurse, or you connect to us through Sandy, you can put a referral. She can put in a referral. We have that option. We also have a website. You can go right to our website. You hit schedule appointment. It takes you to a form. We get that form as soon as you hit the submit button, and we reach out to you in 1 to 3 days. And I'm going to get Rochelle all this information. Again, I had to put this together so quick. And Kathy, who used to be our regional representative, as I said, she's gone on. So we will make sure that we connect this group with someone personally. That's the other advantage of working with us. I've done this for years. I know how impersonal it can be. This is why people call me Flo, because Flo doesn't love insurance so much. She loves making something impersonal seem very personal. And that's what we do. Nobody likes to talk about insurance, not even me. But I love helping you understand it and making it much more personal, because they make it so much harder than it needs to be. So I want to show you real quick kind of what our scheduler looks like. Did that pop up, Rochelle? I can see you. Okay. So you would have a link to your regional representative's calendar. So I mentioned there's in-person or virtual appointments. So you would just go, let's say you want to do a in-person appointment. This particular link is for one of our specialists named April. So you would just pick your day, pick your time, fill in your information, hit complete appointment. We get a notice right away. That appointment gets scheduled to our calendar. You get a notification. We give you little instructions like, be ready 15 minutes before your appointment. Here's what you're going to need to have. And we just do it over the phone. Everything's secure. We worked remote before the pandemic. There's 30 employees at the IRHA and we're statewide. My team is as far as 4 hours apart from me. So everything we do virtually is secure. Your information's protected. It's all HIPAA, PII compliant. So everything is safe. It's just very, very convenient for you. Let's see what else I got here. I think about, so these are the 3 ways that I mentioned. Rochelle, I'll get this so you can share this with the agencies. There's that online request. Takes you to our webpage, you hit schedule appointment. Very easy for consumers, individuals, families to use. And then we do have that direct referral. You'll also get, as a referring agency, a secure messaging upload document portal so that you can send us information securely and safely. In 2019 to 2022, we grew so much, and I have friends that were referring people to me, and they're like texting me. I'm like, oh God, please don't do that. They're putting this information in there. So we came up with this because we want to protect everybody's privacy. And then that acuity calendar that I showed you. Another neat thing that we have for resources, IRHA Help. If you go to the website, you can put in your zip code. Let's say you're in LaPorte, you put in the zip code for LaPorte and you need transportation or you need affordable housing. You do a search, it gives you all the agencies in your area that can assist with that. We get tracking information on that as well. So we can even follow up with you and go like, hey, did it work? Everything work out okay? So IRHA Help, I love, I'm a social worker. So I remember the days of binders and trying to update all the applications and calling places. And it's just made connecting people to resources so much easier. And then with our partners, we couldn't do it without our partners. NFP, I joined IRHA as program coordinator on this before becoming the director. And NFP was one of my first agencies that I worked with. I'm on that campus once a week. We love our partners. It is so much more than, just a connection. It's a relationship, and we love our NFP moms and our new moms. I want to start a photo album with mom's consent, of course, and just share all the baby pictures. I will get baby pictures, talking about Texas. I'll get baby pictures in the middle of the night from my NFP moms, like, oh, look, baby Zane was born. So, and I love it. I love it. And then we'll get you your regional reps contact information. So that is it. I am going to stop sharing. I would love to take questions if I have time, Rochelle. Okay.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Anne. Both Kaylee and Tamara are part of NFP. So ladies, if either of you feel that you could use these services, let your nurse know and she can definitely make that referral for you.
All right.
Thank you.
Oh, Marcy, you're muted.
Yeah. Thanks, Anne, for sharing that information. Connecting parents or connecting moms to programs and services. I think that's amazing. So thanks for sharing that information. Do we have any questions with any of our speakers for Sandy or for Anne? Okay. Then Rochelle, I'm gonna let you take over and talk about the drawing that we're getting ready to have. This one lucky winner is gonna win. What are they gonna win?
So yeah, I don't have it with me. It's at the office in a nice secure place. But we have a bag full of NFP stuff. There's this really nice picnic blanket that folds real nice. There's a swag or self-care kit. Like Marcy said, we've got the couple different gift cards for a manicure and Generations Adventureplex, which has axe throwing and bowling and some other different things. I had not heard of it, but my sister was telling me they just went recently and had a great time. So without further ado, both of you ladies qualify for that drawing tonight because you attended 4 out of 5 sessions. So I am going to share my screen. And I have you both on this lovely wheel, and we're just gonna spin and see who wins. Tamara, you are the winner.
Yay!
So what we will do is I will get together with Marcy and find a time that her and I can connect and get together with your nurses, Ruth, right, Tamara?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we'll get together with Ruth and I know you just had your baby. So is there any time that doesn't work for you?
No, I'm very open at the moment. So
okay. All right. Well, we'll find a time that works for the 3 of us to get together. Maybe we can like kind of crash one of Ruth's visits with you just at the very beginning to deliver that basket.
I do have an upcoming visit with her on the 12th if you guys are available.
Okay. So yeah, I'll get together with Marcy and Ruth, and we'll see what we can figure out. Okay.
No problem. I appreciate everything. Thank you guys.
Oh, absolutely. Congratulations. Thank you both for attending the sessions. I think, it was lots of great information that was shared over the last 5 weeks.
Yes, it has been. And once again, thank you to all the moms that participated. Congratulations to Tamara for winning the swag bag with the gift certificates. You're going to get a manicure. You're going to get therapeutic indulgence, Generations Adventureplex, and swag. I want to say thank you to all our speakers, Ann, Sandy, Marshall, Christina, the mom. It was just amazing 5 weeks. So. And of course, our partner, NFP. I want to thank you, Rochelle, for helping us with the prematurity awareness.
And thanks to Zeta Phi Beta for being on top of this issue.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Yes. Elise, our president, would you like to say anything before we close out? I'm good. Okay. She in the chat that she's good. So, okay, with that being said, I just want to say thanks to everyone and have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. It was a pleasure. Rochelle, I'll take that information to you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
bye,
congratulations,
guys.
Tamara. I want a swag bag. I can't have a baby. That would be a Christmas miracle, but
yeah.
all right, guys. Have a great evening.
Bye-bye.
Bye.